Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today, we're moving this out of the way. We got another project. So, let's check it out. So today, we got a large shipment in for the expedition. And I don't want to work on wet ground. It's wet and cold. We just had a really bad storm yesterday. And yeah, I'm not working in the grass, on the dirt, or anything else. So, took this off the jack stands and it's gonna move. It's just gonna get pushed over right there. And yeah, so it's just out of the way enough just to fit the expedition in here. I've got to push the plasma table back, the welding table, and I got to move it all kind of somewhere for the time being. So it's gonna be a quick cleanup because I have a limited amount of time to do this. So let's check out what we got. All right. Here we are. A whole bunch of Amazon packages. So let's move 240 over and see what these packages are. So let's get to this. All right, now that the car is out of the way, we're going to break down a few more things. It's going to take a little bit longer to put this stuff back together, to do the engine swap, because I'm almost there. Which, if you didn't know, this is my 92 convertible 240SX 5-speed KAT. Just getting a little engine upgrade. It's got a head gasket, got head studs, Clevite bearings, what else? T3, T4 turbo, 550cc injectors, full AN fuel system with a, what is it? A Walbro, no, not a Walbro, a DW 200. So we're getting there. Getting a White Bunny clutch and flywheel kit to make things even better. So, yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to have to break that down. That's good. So, it's one project that should get done the next 2 to 3 weeks, be on the road. Fingers crossed it works better than the first rendition of it because it poured oil everywhere, and that's why that engine is right there. So, yeah, we are gonna move most of this stuff real quick and pull the expedition in because, like I said, I'm not working in the dirt, so I'm gonna clean this up. All right, here's my packages. So, let's get into them. This, I know what this is. It's heavy. Hits the heavy sticker. This is 2 new hubs. So I got 2 front hubs. I have a little shimmy, and I don't want to deal with it. And I know what it's from, and I'm not sure which side it's on. The car has 240,000 miles on it. I have not really introduced the car either. From the title, it is a 2008 Ford Expedition Limited 2-wheel drive. My white one on the channel was a 4-wheel drive, and it had a lot of body rot, so we got rid of it and got this one. It has a rebuilt 5.4 liter Triton, rebuilt by me on this channel. Check it out. Timing's all redone. Suspension on this has not been touched. So we have suspension, we have brakes, and we have front hubs. And I gotta get this done quite quickly because I have a trip coming up in like 3 days, and I work 2 of those days. So yeah, so, and this trip's gonna be 1,000, 1,500 miles up and down mountains and stuff. So yeah, let's get to this box opening and we'll talk about it in just a minute. right, so like I said, we got hubs, we got brakes right here. That's just front brakes, because rear brakes look good, front brakes are worn. Then we got some KYB replacement struts. So I gotta see which one's fronts and backs. I think that one's front. I think these are the rear. I don't know, they look the same, but they're one number different when it comes to ordering them. So there we go. So there's a few things or reasons why I'm doing this. One is I have a kind of knock in the rear when I go over bumps. I think it's the strut. Not 100% sure, but we're gonna find out in this trip. So that should get handled. The hubs, I got them because, like I said, I have a little shake above 70 miles an hour. And I don't like it. It kind of vibrates and everything else, and I don't want it to eat up any of the other components on the truck. So we're gonna take care of that. And then just front brakes, because they're a little worn. And going at 1,500 miles up and down some elevation, I need some better braking. So yeah, let's pull this thing in here. The first thing we're gonna do is pull the fronts off, because that's gonna take the longest. With the hubs and then the struts, and we'll get all that handled, and the brakes all at once. We're gonna do one side at a time, but I will show you one side and then I'll do the other one, because it'll take 10 times faster if I do it that way. So let me pull this thing in here and let's lift it up and get started. Well, I just finished up the driver's side to find out all my issues. Number one, I ordered the wrong hubs. So that's a problem, but we'll fix that later. I'm not worried about that too bad. I'm more worried about the brakes and the suspension. The hubs, I really wanted them, but we'll come back to that. It's not difficult. It's 4 bolts, 6 bolts, 8 bolts total. Not that bad. So yeah, so we got, you almost can't see, but 3 bolts up top for the strut, 1 big bolt for the bottom. You got 2 bolts, which you don't even have to take all this off. We did because we were going to redo the hub. So we're going to take the brake caliper off, hang it up. You damage these lines to the brake and you have to replace them, because your brake caliper will lock up due to a tore up line. The other one is you're going to have to pop off the upper control arm to pull this out, and then the bottom, the sway bar has to be loosened up, because you have to drop the bottom or the lower control arm down far enough to pop this out, because it won't pop out on its own. So yeah, so not too bad, and we'll put new brakes on it and everything else, because as you see, it's getting worn. And if you see the back, the back pad to the other one, it's pretty close. The front pad is even worse. Or I'm sorry, the outside pad. The outside pad actually has pieces missing. So I'm gonna have to get some new rotors next time. Oh, because these are grooved a little bit and I don't have time to go get them resurfaced. So yeah, we're just replacing pads right now, and we'll deal with that later. But I'm gonna get back to this. Let's see. Aha. All right. So you need a number 9 Allen wrench for the calipers themselves. And this one from Dynamic Tools is great. I love it. It's not too long, not too short. Fits right in here. Boop, pops it out. These up top are 15. That's an 18. That is a big dog. Oh, that's an inch and, I'm sorry, that's a 30 millimeter down at the bottom there on the back side. The front side I think is a 27, and then this is an 18 as well. 18 or 19, one of those. If you're gonna do your hubs, the one that holds the bracket on here is a 19. or excuse me, 18. And then you need a little 8 and a 10 for those bolts right there. And then we'll pop all this off and pull everything else off. So that'll make it easier. Yeah, so let me get to this real quick. All right, so there's 2 ways to do this. One, well, 3 ways, excuse me. Buy a whole strut assembly with the spring. It's about $20 to $50 more per strut to buy another spring and top hat and all that with it. Next option, bring this to a shop. Have them pop the top off and put the other strut on with the spring and all that. Third option, this is what you call hope you don't die. You use spring compressors like this unless you actually have a press or a actual spring compressor. These things, they're not the most safe when it comes down to this kind of stuff. So this is at your own risk, and yeah, they work, but definitely at your own risk. So we're gonna go with this, and we're gonna knock this out just like this. So let's pop this on. So when you're using the I want to die method, yeah, you put them across from each other, and you start tightening them down. And as the 2 pieces get closer together, they bring the compression of the spring down. Now, this is a heavy spring. So in turn, what happens is this thing does not like to compress very well, which means this top hat does not easily come off because of the pressure on top. And yeah, you might have to persuade it a little bit. I'm not saying use ratchet straps as a secondary method, but hey, if you're gonna die in style, I mean, yeah, it's a risk you take for being cheap. So do it yourself isn't always the safest manner. But yeah, we're gonna throw this together and get this thing off and pull this top hat off, pull that spring off, get the new one out of that box over there, put it on here, put the spring back on, the top hat back on, and back in the truck it goes. So that's what's gonna happen. All right, well, we're done with this one. It's on there. Yep, perfect. Perfectly perfect. All right, so now we're gonna put this back on. Let's go do that. Yeah. All right, so the treachery is done. It's all back together now. That's good. So I just got to put the wheels on. So both sides done, minus my hubs that get to go back because, yeah, I suck and I don't know how to order right. So now I got to pop this headlight off, and I'll show you why. Because, yeah, I don't have windshield wiper fluid coming to the back. And I might close that lens up a little bit. Might polish that up because look at this one. All nice and shiny and new looking. And this one's all dingy. So I might throw a quick coat of stuff on it real quick and call it a day. So yeah, I might get the polisher out real quick so we can see better at night. But I'll probably pop the whole thing off and do it over there on the bench because I don't want stuff all over this because it's all dirty anyway. So yeah, let me pop this off real quick and I'll show you the windshield wiper reservoir pump. So right here is the reservoir pump. I'm not getting any fluid anywhere I need it, so I got to replace that. All it is these two lines right here, plug right here, and it pops right out from the reservoir. But you're gonna have a massive leak, so you might want to have something up underneath catch it, otherwise it's going everywhere until you put this pump back on. Got me a pump right here. If I can open it up with one hand. There we are. All right, so you see the two holes right there and then the massive one in the back. So same thing right there, and it plugs right in. Bada bing, bada boom, it's in. So I'm gonna change this out real quick and hopefully not get fluid everywhere. That's gonna be a lie, but we're gonna try it. I might need to empty this thing out anyway, because look at that. I don't even know what that is, and it's everywhere. It's like mildew and mold. So, yeah, and it's very smelly. I'm gonna let this whole thing pour out because I got some more, and it's fresh. So we're gonna dump this. So I don't like that. Let's dump it. So I don't recommend using this stuff anymore. Because, yeah, it's got chunks of nastiness all in it. And all it is this fluid. There's no other fluid in it. It's just over time, it gets chunkiness that builds up in it and is really, really nasty. A lot of it's clear, but there's huge chunks in it. And it smells horrible. So, bet it wasn't the pump. Nope, it wasn't the pump. If I would have just taken this and cleaned this off, it wouldn't have had to buy another one. Oh well, got a new one. That's nasty. That's trash. All right, let's finish polishing this headlight. So I really need some headlight restoration. I don't have any. I just got some Carbonera or Carbona, whatever you want to say, wax, and yeah, it's not the right way to do this, but I'm doing it. There. All right, 30 seconds. It looks a heck of a lot better. Still has some nastiness on it, but you know what? Still looks better than it did. Well, getting back here, let me show you. I decided to break the little piece off that goes to the little three-way up here for the squirters. And then I snapped the little bobber thing up there that looks kind of like that. But I got a box here. Check it out on, in the link in the description below. It's on Amazon. They're little fasteners. They're amazing. And then these little vacuum tees and step downs, step ups, whatever. They work too. I'll put them in the link in the description because you can never go wrong with having those. It's not expensive. It's like 15 bucks and you get like 200 and something of them. And this kit, 620 pieces for big dog, and you get a bunch of them. So Yeah, we're gonna replace that little snap in, and then we're done with the windshield wiper fluid ordeal. And it stinks, and it's all over my floor with nasty mold. So and then we're gonna put these wheels back on the front and move to the back, and yeah, do those. And then we'll do a thorough check throughout the car, oils, air in tires, and fluids and everything else. And then we're gonna clean it up, vacuum it out, wash it, and it'll be good to go for a good trip. So we only got 3 days. 3 days getting this done. So let's go. Well, you think the front ones are hard. The back one's just awkward. All right. So I'm gonna take this wheel off and I'll show you what I mean by awkward, because it's very awkward. All right, guys, come on in. Let's see. First awkward part. These arms aren't really easy to take off. You don't really take them off. I just popped this one off on the other side to give me some clearance for this right here. I popped off the caliper, did those bolts, did the sway bar right there, and then that is the tricky one because it's in a hole, and once it goes through and you're trying to come up at an angle, especially not like a straight angle like it would be going this way, you're coming out here like this. So it is very awkward and not fun. So let's hammer this one out. Like I said, yeah, we'll do the brake caliper first. We'll knock all this loose first, and once we drop the strut, we'll pop this off and the sway bar, so it gives us a little bit more jiggle room with the arms. Yep, let's knock it out. Alright, back together. Now it's time to go in. It's a pain in the butt. Alright, let's start. Well, that wasn't the best tutorial of how to change struts, but it does show the complete struggle that I've had today with all of it. So with the ordering the hubs, they're wrong. With the fluids that I decided to put in the windshield sprayer reservoir, I did check the diff fluid. It looks amazing, and yeah, everything else went sort of according to plan. It just was a pain in the butt. So if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. If you don't, sorry. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything else, or you just want to make fun of me, because that wasn't very fun. Yeah, stay tuned for the next thing. It's going to be hubs. Yay. And brakes. Yay. But that's on that. On this, like I told you in the beginning, got all my stuff going. Probably repaint the bay before I throw the engine in, but it wouldn't take long to do all that. Little pile of mess right there, and all that will be in the link in the description below if you need any of those parts or anything else. Most of the tools are in the links in the description below as well. So also tools, they are pristine and spot on. Not too expensive. There's a 10% off coupon down there too. So anyway, thanks for joining in, and until next time.